Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and in another episode of Tales from a Third-Rate Republic, guess what? The fix is in, the documents are being sealed, and the cover-up crew is in full force when it comes to the Epstein case. Now, before we read part of the document that you see behind me in the thumbnail and talk about the ruling in this Gouffre Roberts case versus Ghislaine Maxwell, I think we need to, number one, couple this with the ruling of sealing other documents even more blatantly than in this case, where there was a ruling on whether the documents were quote-unquote judicial or not, because simply filing them does not make them quote-unquote judicial. Now, this is over the top. This is totally in your face, and it's being completely underreported. While if any reporting's going on, they are showing you the whitewashed MIT report from a few days ago that says that Epstein gave $850,000 and was there 9 times, and we have somebody who was recently let go again because of this. But those are cover-up reports. That's what we're going to get in the suicide of Jeffrey Epstein investigation, another cover-up report. Bill Barr specializes in covering things up for the Central Intelligence Agency, of whom he was a member in the beginning of his career while he got his law degree at Columbia University, full-time employee. He was the man behind the cover-up crew with Robert Mueller, his best buddy, in the BCCI banking scandal. The cover-up crew is here, baby. So before we get into the documents that we're not going to see, the 10,000 pages that we so much wanted, here you go. Florida judge blocks release of Jeffrey Epstein grand jury files. Now, if you remember, what really started to kick this off after the reporting of the Miami Herald and the Palm Beach Post and the reinvigoration of the media and alt media personalities like myself, right? We had the Department of Justice look into the case again under the Crimes Victims' Rights Act. Now, as this went on, everybody knew that this was an egregious deal. This was a deal that was corrupt. This was a deal that would have been made for nobody else. And you even had some grilling of Acosta on that matter. Now, Vicky Ward releases the information that Acosta was told, and he revealed that he was told. He revealed to the Trump transition team when he was going to become the labor secretary that, in fact, he was told to back off because it was above his pay grade and Epstein was intelligence. When asked this question, he refused to answer it directly, but only saying, don't believe all the reports that are out there. He said he was aware of the report, didn't answer the question. So now a lot of people are saying, well, okay, let's unseal those documents to make sure that this deal wasn't cut that way. He wasn't intelligence. Let's find out what's really going on. Imagine that. A justice system for and by the people in which we can have our own checks and balances when clearly the powers that be cannot. A Florida judge Tuesday blocked a request for grand jury records from the Jeffrey Epstein's 2006 indictment, saying there was not a scintilla of evidence to suggest corruption led to the financer's sweetheart plea deal in 2008. Read that first paragraph. It says it all. It says it all. It says the fix is in. We know best. We're going to tell you fairy tales about leprechauns riding unicorns over a rainbow into a pot of Jeffrey Epstein gold. He didn't get a sweetheart deal. What are we doing here? And now, a week later, yesterday, a judge rules that most of these documents are not judicial. See? Without more is sufficient to render a document judicial. Where those deliberations, if they even occurred, cannot result in a judicial act of any sort. Moreover, the Court of Appeals has made it crystal clear that the universe of documents that can be considered judicial is not limitless. Okay? refers to a Modo 2. Abundance of statements and documents, general and federal litigation, actually have little or no bearing on the exercise of, here's some legal speak on their judicial power. This is Newsday LLC versus the County of Nassau, emphasizing that the category of judicial documents should not be readily expanded. Ms. Gouffre, however, appears to argue that any document that has been filed with the court, requests some manner of relief, and comes to a judge's attention in any way is a judicial document, whether decided, undecided, justiciable, or non-justiciable. Such an approach would effectively obliterate any limitation on what can be afforded the presumption of public access. If every document that comes to a judge's attention after filing is relevant to the judicial function, then practically every paper filed with the court would be judicial in nature. This flies in the face of the Court of Appeals directive that the mere filing of a paper document with the court is insufficient to render the paper a judicial document. Finally, the court is mindful of the fact there is a great deal of public intrigue surrounding the unsealing of the documents at issue here. No kidding. Especially with the amount of corruption there is in the justice system, in the court system, in the police system, in the intelligence system. With that in mind, the court emphasizes that this ruling is a narrow one, notwithstanding the fact that the undecided motions and papers associated with them are not judicial documents. They may eventually be unsealed because they are in some way relevant to Judge Sweet's actual decisions, which are numerous and are certainly subject to the presumption of public access. So here you go. They're not judicial, but maybe we'll give you access sometime down the line because they know how corrupt they are. So what else is going on in the world of Epstein, huh? Well, we got plenty, actually. We got some surprising stuff. I got associated or acquainted with a name that I had not before, but we'll get there. Okay? Now, one of the things I want to point out, that this was just reported on again, and really the national media hasn't picked it up, hasn't talked about it. But that sweetheart deal he cut, and we only know this through that Department of Justice investigation, where they said that they hadn't broken the Crimes Victims' Rights Act when they clearly had. And now they're saying, there was no real, not a scintilla of evidence. There was corruption in that sweetheart deal for Epstein. I want to puke. Well, let me tell you something. Out of the 30-plus girls they could have charged him with, and if you watch that 2020 piece, again, as far as victim impact statements, you had plenty of girls that were 13, 14 years old, 15 years old when they were involved with Epstein. They charged him with a 16-year-old girl, so he didn't have to register in 30-plus states. Now, I reported on that prior to Epstein even being arrested. That video has less than 1,000 views. Less than 1,000 views. So now they're saying, maybe we should change our laws. Epstein never registered in New Mexico where he had the Zorro Ranch. Remember, Bill Richardson was named in those 2,000 pages. Wouldn't want those 10,000 pages to come out and see who else visited Zorro Ranch, would we? By the way, thumbs this video up, sub and share if you're new to the Burmese Brigade. What else is new in the Epstein case? Well, I want to talk about a guy named Kimbal Musk. There he is, Kimbal Musk. Now, we already know that Epstein had some kind of relationship with Elon Musk, that Elon Musk allegedly tried to introduce Epstein to Zuckerberg, as was reported in the media, that Jeffrey Epstein's lady friend, Ghislaine Maxwell's photographed with Elon Musk in 2014 as well, right? Well, here's Kimbal, Elon's mother. Don't worry, he is on the board of SpaceX and other ventures with Elon. And apparently, he dated one of Epstein's exes and had a close relationship with Epstein. It's a little funny, huh? That's a little weird. How about that? They don't say which woman it was, but they seem to lean towards it's one of the Eastern European women. I wonder if it's Nadia Marcinkova. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying they weren't really specific about it. And again, Epstein set up ex-girlfriend with Elon Musk's brother to cozy up to Tesla boss. Who knows if that was the real reason, but you see the connections with these people. Okay? Oh, by the way, on that video that was destroyed, we're talking about that first incident that I don't believe was a suicide attempt. And by the way, thank you very much for that super trap battle, Brand. Jason, you are truly exposing evil and truth. Thank you so much. We're trying here. We're trying hard. It's not easy. So, for those not up to speed, in the first suicide attempt, there were reports that he may have been attacked at first, right? Turns out Mark Epstein, his brother, says he was attacked by this man, Nicholas Tartiglione. Okay, there's Epstein. Tell me there's a Tartiglione picture. There's not a Tartiglione picture. Well, Tartiglione says he tried to save his life. Either way, they put Epstein on suicide watch. Well, that video has been destroyed. At first, they said they didn't know where it was misplaced. Then they said they found it, all within a couple weeks' time. And then within like a few weeks, it had just been accidentally deleted as a clerical error. So now they want a hearing on the lost or destroyed video or whatever you want to call it. Lessig, the Harvard professor, is suing the New York Times. Suing the New York Times over their clickbait false story of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. So people are coming out of the woodwork now that documents are being sealed. The cover-up crew is in full effect, and Bill Barr is telling you that Epstein killed himself. No biggie. And as I said, the only focus really is this, $850,000, the 9 stays at MIT, and them suspending another professor for Epstein ties. Alice Searcy, thank you so much for that super chat. She says, thanks for the news. Thank you for supporting me so much. I really do appreciate it. So there you have it. We got the latest documents. Guys, thumbs this video up for sure. They always backdoor cover their ass. They say, well, at some point down the line, maybe you'll get the documents. And remember, when they're telling you that a judge is saying there's a scintilla of evidence to suggest corruption in the Palm Beach case, really? Because I would suggest corruption before the Palm Beach case when Maria Farmer went to the police in 1996 and the FBI and said there were pinhole cameras in the bathrooms and bedrooms, and that they were being live taped with people manned at video stations surveilling them. Huh. I'd be concerned that she said that Les Wexner was the head of the snake. No one wants to even mention his name. Or when they do on the 2020 Impact piece, because it wasn't really a documentary, guys. They let him whitewash his involvement with Epstein and say he got fleeced for $40 million. Jeffrey Epstein was a bad man to me. You gave him a $70 million mansion. What are you talking about? What is this? So guys, and you know what? In relation to the McGregor case, think about this. They let him off the hook on the sexual assault allegations last night, just like, the media let Jeffrey Epstein off the original sexual assault allegations. They portrayed him as a family man. This is Disney, this is ESPN, this is ABC, this is the media, right? And his body language said guilty the whole time. I did an exclusive premium video over at rockfin.com. That's ROKFIN.com/Jason Burmis. You can only see it there because I'm worried about like copyright here or strikes or my channel getting shut down. That's why I didn't do a in-depth Prince Andrew breakdown. But let me tell you, it's very similar. It's a very similar whitewash because Ariel Helwani can't even say the word sexual assault. Have we gotten anywhere in 2020? No. The powerful control the narratives. So if you want to help get the truth out about that, I'm going to send you right now. Now's the time to do it because obviously it's trending everywhere. That's what you got to share with people. That's a thread that proves it beyond a reasonable doubt. I do it 3 to 7 times a day. Guys, I'm going up and down on subscribers all week. Really no gain. We're still not even at 39,000. Can we get to 39,000 tomorrow? Can we get to 40,000? Can you share this channel, this information with friends, family, and help the Burmis Brigade grow? I'd really appreciate it. That's how you can support me if you can't financially support me. But if you can, again, every little bit helps. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. Look, some days I make 150, some days I make 25, some days I make 0. And it's hard with my actual videos because everyone goes up for manual review. Everyone is suppressed in the algorithm. That's why even though I'm doing it 3 to 7 times a day here, we're going to make sure that 5 times a week we do an exclusive video there, and then we're also going to repost some of the older stuff. So original content over at rockfin.com. Sign up today. I don't know if there's a button or a subscription for my thing alone, because you get access to Ben Askren and all these other great people. But in the messages, definitely say, hey, Rockfin, thank you for carrying Jason Burmis original material, and let them know that's why you're there. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to keep up on the Epstein case. You got to let people know. The cover-up crew is here. They're in full effect. And it's only by us talking about the truth and sharing it with others that we're going to get this information out there. Because I'll tell you right now, they'll cover up for Epstein. Today, he's a dead man. They'll still cover up for those that covered up for him. They'll cover up for a guy like McGregor. Right now, in your face, sell him to your children. In a commercial where he comes in and there's a teddy bear and a train set and he turns into a superhero figure. I won't stand for it. See you all on the flip side.